Is it right you do a whole podcast about keeping up appearances?
Yes.
Wow. All about keeping up
It's
appearances.
niche.
Yeah, listen, people love
But
niche.
people love niche and people love keeping up appearances.
There you go.
My wife's next door, man and the baby and the dog, but I'm on hand if an emergency arises.
So if you just get up suddenly and leave, we'll know why.
It's either a fire or a dirty nappy, one of the two.
Yeah.
Hopefully not both.
Hopefully not either. Not both.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely worried about my lack of knowledge from anything in the past. I've almost got a clinically bad memory. I've heard a few and I was like, how are they getting these? It's like, oh, it's a random game from 2009. Like, who scored? I'm like, who even was in the league in 2009? But I don't know.
Don't worry when we get to the last game, the keeping up appearances game, because I'm famously bad at that.
Good. It would be great if someone else was terrible. That'd be great.
Yeah, don't worry, I've got you.
Okay,
Got your back.
cool. Thanks.
Someone's famously bad and someone famously cheats, so you've just got to do one of them two things.
Oh, great.
And the man that cheats is I won't say too much, but he's currently wearing a cap.
It might be me. Are you staying, Sean? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I didn't know if you were doing it or not. I didn't know if you were doing it with us tonight.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Right.
When I say something like that,
I'm
that's
gonna
Sean,
leave.
it's me trying to get you off the podcast, isn't it? But
Yeah, no, that's because you've got an agenda. Right, go ahead, Cal.
Cool.
It's Connie, what's he going to do? Ready! Ready! Oh, yeah!
Welcome to this week's episode of Keeping Up Appearances. We are glad to have Sean back with us after his week of absence last week, but we are glad to hear that all is going well there. And we are delighted to have a special guest with us this week. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good, glad to have you with us. For what we hope will be a fun podcast and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Very welcome. So to start, we will start with Any Given Saturday, which I have taken the reins for this week from Sean. We had Bob's great one last week. I think we just managed to beat you last week, was it, Bob?
Yeah, just about.
Bit of a shambles from what I heard.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shambles.
There was a couple of dodgy answers from the host.
we somehow managed to get Leighton Baines as well, so that was a tough one.
I did tell you in advance that he would definitely be one, so
We got there in the end. But for this week's Any Given Saturday, we are going to the COVID season, 1920. So the first fixture is on the 23rd of November 2019, and it is West Ham at home to Tottenham. West Ham 2, Tottenham 3. Off you go.
one of the Tottenham scorers now playing for Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Is it Harry Kane or Eric
Yes. Dyer? Harry Kane. There's your one.
Is one of the Spurs goal scorers Brazilian?
Yes.
Is it Lucas Moura?
Yes. Which option?
Going well so far.
That's me done.
Picked him for you, Sean, and you get him.
Can I ask a question? Does one of the West Ham players still play for West Ham? One of the scorers still play?
Yes, they both do.
Right. I don't even know why I asked that because I don't know the answer anyway. But
it's not a question to ask them.
It just felt like a smart thing to ask.
I've written a list of 100 players who no longer play for West Ham, so I'm going to cross them out now.
Is one of the West Ham scorers their all-time top Premier League goal scorer?
I have to check. I think that's right.
Yeah. Is he a right wing back / right winger / centre forward?
That's your guy.
Carl Antonio.
Correct.
Unbelievable guessing this.
I know.
Shout Bob. Because you do nothing else but just watch football during this time.
Did the other one score a worldie at Goodison last week?
Sharma?
No, Beto didn't play for West Ham.
Baller. Is he from Liverpool?
No.
Have we got 2 Tottenham ones still? Oh no, 1 Tottenham, 1 West
One
Ham.
Tottenham, one West Ham.
Is the Tottenham player still playing for Tottenham?
Yes.
Is it Son?
Yes. It is.
Just ask a question there, Bob.
Yeah. I suppose he did ask it as a question, I suppose.
Bob, yours should have been, do I hate him?
Yeah. Should he still be suspended?
Is he football's nice guy? What would I have answered there, Bob?
Tom Davis, probably.
So
Right,
you've
so
got
one West Ham.
one West Ham to get.
It's been absolute convincing beating at this stage, Callum, to be fair. We've already had about 7 guesses and got all four of the scorers. West Ham, so he's still there.
Is he a midfielder?
No.
Defender.
Yes.
Did he kick a cat?
He might have done, but not the one you're thinking of. But I don't know if he has or not.
Did he formerly play for Napoli?
Good question. I'll find out.
What do we do while you're finding out? So
I'll do it quickly. He did not formerly play for Napoli.
Is he Italian?
He is Italian.
Oh, can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, you got it. Well done.
Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Can I just say that he's Italian?
Have you got a player in mind?
Ogbonna?
Go for it. Yeah, correct.
Get in.
that was who I was thinking of. Did he not play for Napoli?
No.
Juventus,
Torino,
wasn't it?
Crotone, Juventus.
Oh well, I was thinking him, so I thought he signed from Napoli.
He got a 96th minute goal to make it 3-2. So got that one. Good
6-minute
stuff.
consolation.
Yeah, indeed. So it's 3-2. Tottenham that game. Next game was slightly later in the season. Same scoreline though. This was on the 18th of January, 2020. Southampton 2, Wolves 3.
It's not supposed to be the same weekend.
Yep.
It's different weekends, don't you?
No, it's not any. It's not any 2 given Saturdays.
Well, we'll go on this one anyway.
It all goes tits up when you're not here, Sean.
No.
Sorry. Well, this is another weekend anyway. Just Saturday.
Was one of the Wolves players Portuguese?
Yes.
That doesn't really narrow it down too much, does it?
1920. Is one of them playing in Saudi Arabia now?
That's a good question.
Is it Neves? Is it Ruben Neves?
It's not. No.
Is one of them still playing for Wolves?
Yes.
Is his surname same as a budget supermarket?
Yeah.
Netto.
Question.
Netto.
Yeah, that's like a tosh question. That. Well, yeah, that's a good shout.
How many goal scorers were the Cal? Because you said 2 for Wolves.
5. Sorry, no. The one player got 2 for Wolves. He's not still playing for Wolves.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. But you've got the one who's still playing. The other one scored 2. He's not still playing for Wolves, but he's not playing in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, or whatever Tosh said. And then the 2 Southampton with 2 different scorers.
Can I ask? Does one of the Southampton scorers now play for West Ham?
You can ask, but he doesn't.
I'm out.
I can't think of anyone else to play for Southampton, you know.
Is one of them an Irishman?
He is an Irishman.
Did he score the fastest ever Premier League goal?
He did score the fastest ever Premier League goal.
Did you want Everton to sign him?
I did want Everton to sign him, and still do.
Slong.
Correct.
Is the other Wolf is there only one other Wolves player?
Yeah.
And is he Portuguese?
Yes.
Did we nearly sat? Were we always linked with him?
Yeah. Possibly.
That famous video of Ken Wright saying something like, "Now that is one we're after."
I haven't seen that one, to be honest.
Is it Gian Moutinho?
No. Sorry, he's not. It's not him.
Ken Wright.
I was checking if he was Portuguese as you were doing the Ken Wright video.
And is he Portuguese?
Not Portuguese. Not Portuguese.
You know anything about these players when you pick them?
Well, no, if I don't know them, you don't know them. That's what I'm thinking. Nah, you'll know this. This is an obvious play.
You didn't.
I went with the
Did
idea that every Wolves player ever has been Portuguese.
Did the other Wolves player formerly play for Barcelona?
No.
Could the Wolves player have been on the island for biggest snides the other week?
No.
It's not Diego Costa then.
Oh
no.
Yeah, it was a bit later when he could shout.
Mm.
What position was the Wolves player?
Striker.
Oh, does he currently play for Fulham?
He does currently play for Fulham.
Raul Jimenez.
Correct.
Oh,
So now
good
just good
You
shout.
have to check if he was Portuguese.
Oh, famously,
I know,
met-
right. You got one Southampton left. This is
is
possibly
he a striker?
difficult one. No.
Did he play for Everton?
Nope.
Defender?
Yes.
Is he now playing for Leicester?
No.
Is he still playing for Southampton?
He's on loan at another club.
Is the club in the Premier League?
Yes. I'll be honest, I had no clue he's on loan at this team. Like
Can you tell us the team just to narrow it down?
Villa.
It's not. Is it Callum Chambers?
No. I'll give you a clue. Southampton's only other English club.
What nationality is he?
Polish.
Oh,
Bednarek.
Bednarek.
Correct. It's what you took that one. Just about. Well
In
done, Zoe.
harmony.
Yeah, you both said it. Yeah, so Bednarek long for Southampton, and then Neto and Raul Jimenez with 2 for Wolves. I'm not sure you get that Southampton Wolves on, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not sure you get the rules of the game.
Too many.
Can I ask?
Too.
I was going to say, sorry, can I ask, is there like some sort of scoreboard? Do you know who gets the most answers right in these?
In this, it's a free for all, but it's probably Bob.
Yeah, Bob's the
Right.
best player.
But what you'll find, Andy, if we did that again, you'd probably find Tosh tries to give himself like points based on anything he can. So
Like
he
good
gives-
questions.
yeah, he says
Yeah.
who gives the best question. That gets the real winner.
And what's
Yeah,
the
but
criteria? What's the criteria for picking the matches, or do you just pick a random?
A random Saturday.
Completely random Saturdays if you call them.
It started off as, do you know Jamie Hutchinson, the comedian?
Oh yeah.
He when he came on, he does a crisp podcast. So I found an old pack of Cheese and Owen crisps from the 90s, and it had a random date on it with the expiry date. I picked that date, picked 2 games from it, and we had to guess the scorers.
And so you've been doing this for a while.
We started in August.
So I was going to say, I think because football cliches have a very similar. What's their one called?
Yeah, I know which one you mean.
Happy Hunting Grounds,
Yeah.
but that's only fairly new. I think they've ripped you off, to be honest.
Oh, I've someone ripped us off.
They've stolen your format wholesale.
Yeah, I think we'll go easy on the.
I think we should go for them.
lawsuits.
Yeah, you should. I think you should, lads. I'll
Yeah,
back
and
you.
then hope everyone else doesn't come for us on our many our many pending lawsuits.
Yeah.
For everything.
Hopefully, Hyacinth Bouquet doesn't come for us. Thanks for that, Callum. Kind of. But we'll move on then to the main action from the weekend, which concerns 1 out of the 5 of us, mainly, as it was that blockbuster match on Sunday between Liverpool and Man City. So before we have a little chat about it, I just want to show of hands. Hands up if you think it was a pen.
Yeah, probably.
He did almost take his head off.
I didn't
No, go on now.
think it was, but now you see it, I sort of do, yeah.
I've done some research since though, and that is actually the first time Liverpool have ever been denied a Stonewall pen.
Good research, Bob.
Yeah,
Do you have any references?
blue kipper. It was. You couldn't get more blatant than that. I don't even know why there's any debate.
It was very annoying. But you know, it was one of those like where it's just at the time I kind of thought in real time I thought nah, but then when I seen the replay, I'm like, oh, Stonewall. And then Gary Neville got me all excited where he was like, oh, I think he's in trouble here and all this. I was like, great. All I'm thinking is like, okay, McAllister, take it again. Don't let Salah take it. Even though like I don't know what my problem is with Salah. Like his conversion rate's good, but like I'm just more comfortable with McAllister taking pen. And all these things are going through my head, like, oh, McAllister's got to take it. No, Salah can't. And then it's like, oh, check complete and game over. And you're just like, oh, all right.
I really don't understand how they would have looked at that multiple times and come
Very
to the
quick, wasn't it?
conclusion. Yeah,
Yeah.
come to the conclusion that it wasn't a pen. It is mad.
Like
But
anywhere on the pitch.
hilarious.
Like I know,
Yeah.
like I know
it's
Carragher was
it-
saying, like, oh, it's the rules are a bit different in the penalty box, but like anywhere else on the pitch, like that's a foul all day,
Yeah.
you know. But
It was almost like De Jong on Alonso in the World Cup.
It wasn't that severe.
That's
Nowhere
the
near that severe.
closest challenge I can think of.
I think what kind of helped him was that he kind of tried to pull. He didn't like just plow through him. Like he tried to kind of pull it back at the very end, but like
I think if Doku's kicked the ball and then went forward with his foot,
yeah,
I think it's probably given a foul. But the fact that Doku seems to kick it and McAllister's body comes into his foot, which is why I think it's not a foul.
Yeah.
I think if it's been given, I think it probably all went a bit soft. But I don't think you can really argue it not being given. That day McGallagher said on the Monday that he basically would have just said to the VAR, did he get the ball? And VAR would have said, he's got the ball. And then he go, okay, it's fine.
But he didn't get the ball, or did he?
Yeah.
He did. He kicks the ball. Definitely.
He
I don't
definitely
think
touches
he
the ball.
does.
He definitely touched the ball.
I've seen super slow mos where it's frame by frame.
Oh, is it?
He
And
does
it's
definitely
technically
get the ball.
he gets his. But to be fair, like he's lunging in to get there first, but he gets his chest on it, and then. But like you know,
You should never let it bounce.
Correct. I was just about to
Head
say that.
it
It's so
away,
bad from him to let that bounce. And before that even happened, just saying, why on earth is he letting that bounce there to do that? Because that was all that was ever going to happen. You thought it was going to be one where McAllister gets his head in and he takes him out ridiculous.
Yeah.
it's kind of just one of them where it's like, if that's a different time of the match, it's a foul. If that's a different position of the pitch, that's a foul. So it's just kind of like all these little things, like
It's at the other end.
yeah, you know. But what can you do? Like,
Oh no, if it was at the other end, it's a stone wall. I'll be honest.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah,
I think there is an element to that. Do you reckon on the VAR thinking, God, this is potentially a title winning decision here, a change of decision to sort of give a penalty that potentially puts Liverpool's massive favourites, doesn't it? So I don't know whether there is an element. Obviously, there shouldn't be, but
I think that's 100% the case, though, isn't it? That's like
They don't want any part of it. Like they're just,
let the match play, but they don't want to be in however many 3 months' time. They don't want to be the ones that cost whoever the title, do they?
Can I ask though, like when you see something like that, when the four of you see something like that, are you just like or do you hate City more? You know what I mean? Like what?
No.
Oh no. You got it wrong, Andy.
These guys hate City just as much as me. No.
I could bring me City flag upstairs.
Okay, Grant. Just want to know where we stood on that.
Yeah. At least we're honest.
That's the most like decent conversation you're ever going to get about Liverpool, and three of us are still trying to argue it wasn't a pen.
I was thinking that's actually very polite for a bunch of lads who really hate Liverpool FC.
Other than that, though, it was an exciting first half, and then City for some reason just like fell off a cliff. Second half, they just completely died. I think the goal coming just after half time probably didn't help. But
I think, Callum, you don't want to, but I think you've got to give some credit to Liverpool. That second half was like, considering what Liverpool had there and people missing, that was unbelievable. That the pressure they put on. Again, that's where like you talk about, we like to say things about Anfield being a bit of a myth and stuff like that, but the way the crowd got with them, that was just like, the only spot I can't believe they didn't score a second. Like, no. I really, with that sort of wave of pressure, it was just, and again, in the end,
that's the only thing that makes it kind of bittersweet. Like, it was a great game and a great kind of fight back in the second half, but like the amount of chances. I mean, we could have easily lost it as well, like Doku hitting the post and just going right back to Keller. Like I thought that was in, or like Keller punching it onto. Now it would have been handball anyway, but like punching it onto your man, hits off the bar. It was just like pinball at one stage, and then Diaz just missed like a whole host of sitters. Like, he's good. I can't like. I'm always trying to look on the positive, but I'm like, even me was just like,
he
like,
could have killed the game off single-handedly. To be fair,
yeah.
He was unbelievable in that second half, though. I thought, apart from like obviously missed some chances, but like he gave Walker the run around that you don't see too often from Walker these days defensively. Like,
did you not think it was a bit weird that Walker was given that interview less than 24 hours later when he's asked about it? He's like, oh, I think the ref gave a decision, and he's not being very non-committal about it.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
No, I think there's an element to City, isn't it? I think they've got that bit of arrogance, haven't they? They think that's like they'll take that result. I think both teams will feel like that's a big chance missed. I think obviously, I think City for myself, like obviously you asked the question, Andy, like we're all sat watching it, desperate for City to win. If I was having watched Liverpool and wanting Liverpool to get beat for a while, the thing you don't do in a big game is just gift them something to do that just after half time. What Aki did there again. Just don't give them that chance. I know City play that way where they do play possession. They do. You think stop giving Liverpool. And even like just before half time, Walker had one where he was in a great position. He puts one across the box. And you think, if you go in 2-0 there, Liverpool don't come back.
That's the thing. A second goal kind of kills off the game.
And City were relatively in control. I thought first half, I think Liverpool had about 10 minutes where they got a bit of momentum, and then I think City just scored and killed it. And I think, I think it's frustrating. But after that, as I said, Liverpool were just, again, the only shock was I just couldn't believe you just felt the second and the third were coming at one point.
Yeah, I thought that too. But
it was strange the way City played in that first half. I thought they'd like really slowed the game down. It was almost like they weren't going for that second. Just really slowed it down. We're just kind of just knocking about sake, which they don't really do. Taking a lot of time over throw-ins and free kicks and stuff. I was about to say that. But if Kyle Walker's got that pass right, it's
that's that. Like,
it's probably a different game. Yeah, and I don't know. Nothing seemed to fall for Haaland and stuff, and he didn't really make the most out of his chances. But yeah, it's definitely a game of two halves. Probably a draw, probably the fair
great
result.
Game, though.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah, it would have been ruined by giving that penalty at the end, to be fair. So probably a good point that he didn't give it, to be honest.
And I tell you, the whole time I'm watching it, like I've got my daughter in the room as well, so like I'm conscious that like it's Mother's Day. Was it Mother's Day there too?
Yeah.
So it's like will you put this game on Mother's Day? Like I have to bank a whole bunch of good deeds before I can go and watch this match in peace. And then it's like, I'm not gonna look after the kids now. I'm doing my thing here. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I've got the kids all around me, so I'm just trying to be like family friendly energy while watching the match, even though like I'm standing the whole time. Like, and it was just not the ideal way to watch a match, but still good fun.
Right, Tosh, do you want to take us into Maroon 5?
Of course, yeah, always. So just to review last week's Maroon 5, we looked at the best football films in line with Oscars week. Ooh. And I think it'll be no surprise to anyone that Mike Bassett was the winner with a resounding 49% of the votes. So thank you to everyone who voted on X. So he's joining something for the lads on the island to enjoy. The Derby team of 0708, JJ Okocha, Sol Campbell and Jason Kumas. They'll all be sat around watching Mike Bassett. What a treat for them. So this week's, I think we're going a bit on the nose with St. Patrick's Day coming up and our esteemed guest. We're going to look at the best Irish players to have played just in England. Did we say the Premier League in England? I can't remember, but the best Irish, maybe just the best Irish players in general. You can be as creative as you want. And we've ruled two people out. One of which we can probably guess is Seamus Coleman, because Bob would obviously have picked Seamus Coleman. The second of which we're going to pick is Roy Keane, because again, I think it'd be too easy to discuss how great both of them are. But anything else is up for grabs as long as they played for Ireland, I think we said. Anyone fancy starting us off?
Go on, do you want me to go?
Yeah, go on, sure.
Okay, so I am actually very passionate about this, so that's why I kind of want to go first. Put me
set the stall.
Yeah, set the marker for you lot. I've even come dressed for the occasion. As you can see here, I've got my well, yeah. For audio listeners, I've got a very special T-shirt on, and you'll find out who it is in a minute. Before I reveal a name, let's go through some of the facts about him. So he's the fourth most capped Irish player of all time. He was an ever-present in the 2002 World Cup squad, which is like for me the peak of Ireland successes in my lifetime anyway. And I think one of the main things that I like about him, and I think people may remember him for, is that he's part of like lots of streets won't forget kind of teams. He was always signed by like that type of manager. So he played for Peter Reid Sunderland, he played for David Moyes Everton, he played for Paul Jules Wigan and Phil Brown's Hull. Now they're just like most of them are the ultimate streets won't forget teams in my opinion. So of course the person I'm talking about is, you might know him as Zinedine, you might know him as Killer, or you might know him as Kevin, but the man is Kevin Kilban. Now, the reason I'm going for him is because I was a big fan of his when I was growing up. Mainly, he was a left back / left midfielder, which I was too. He wore the number 14, which I wore. And the thing that we have most in common is the fact that we were both bang average footballers. So he's always been a very relatable one for me.
Sweet left foot though.
Yeah, correct.
He's got better hair.
Well, yeah, we'll get on to that. So, yeah, the type of player he was, I think, at Everton, not that his peak was particularly high. He's not like, that's not kind of one of those moments you talk about, but I think Everton fans probably got him as the peak of his career almost, because Sunderland fans hated him, actually. So when he came to Everton, it was a bit like, what kind of player are we getting here? But I think where he fitted in with Everton was just that he was a bit of a workhorse and he just never stopped. He'd run for days. He's quite unpredictable, where it's like one of those players.
Not in a good way, though.
No, exactly, that's what I mean. He's one of those
not
players.
Not like a maverick player. It's like, is he going to have a 3 out of 10 or a 7?
Yeah, or is this ball going to stay on the pitch? One of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them. That unpredictability works sometimes because no one knows what's going to happen, like, especially him. So yeah, so for me as a kid, I've always kind of lots of different reasons why I was like drawn to him. Also, I've mentioned previously that Ireland team were very much my team when I played on Pro Evo. I think it was like Pro Evo 2 or 3 following that World Cup. I just loved that squad. And because obviously Kilban played for Everton, it's just a little extra thing for him. So, football career, again, probably there'll be better players that you'll probably talk about, but I think he's got lots of things that show that he probably got the most out of his career in terms of the potential he had. He definitely had the best career out of his very limited ability. But what I think stands him above all of your players, I assume, is that he's had such a good post-football career, in that as a pundit, he seems to be quite a popular pundit on certain channels because mainly he's quite outspoken, which is almost like the opposite of how he played as a player. Whereas a player, he was fairly safe. Bob, for example, I'm sure you'll probably love him for his views on Declan Rice, because he seems to absolutely hate Declan Rice for betraying Ireland. Reason. Yeah. But also, one of the craziest events that ever happened post-football is when he went on Dancing on Ice, which, if you'd have asked me 15 years ago which former Everton player would end up on Dancing on Ice, I reckon Kevin Kilban would have been bottom of my list.
Who else? David Weir.
This could end up quite a big tangent, this. But not only that, he stole the heart of the nation and the heart of his partner, Brian, who he's now married to. He's got 2 kids. So obviously he's a lot more charming than he looks, because I don't know whether it was his moves on the ice or what, but she fell for him. And I think she's a good judge of character. So for all those reasons, I'm putting Everton legend and my hero, Kevin Kilban.
I don't think there's ever been a better marooned 5 case for a worse footballer.
I honestly think Kevin Kilban should be putting that, like, you should record that for Kevin Kilban, because I don't think anyone's done him as much justice as you have there.
Yeah, it's like a cameo video, but it's to Kevin Kilban. That was lovely, that Sean. That nearly brought a tear to me.
I know. Me too. Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about Killer. Loved him. But I think my biggest success in my life would probably be if Kevin Kilban wins this poll. Genuinely.
I'll
Maybe
vote
still
for
is.
him, Sean. He is on Twitter. I reckon he'd get involved.
Do you reckon? I'll clip that up then. I'll
Yeah.
take all the bits out where I call them rubbish.
Yeah.
Maybe less than that bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the dance on ice and stealing the hearts of the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gold.
Very
Yeah.
good case, John.
That was a very good case. He played. I
Loved
just
it.
looked there. He played every game with the season we finished fourth, though, every Premier League game. So I think you're doing him a slight disservice. Part of a good team there.
Good utility man as well.
Yeah.
Just played all over the place, didn't he?
Yeah. Just put my bit in there. I said you did a bit of disservice as well, just so I get a bit of
Yeah.
credit.
Sean, on your t-shirt, who's the face actually supposed to be? Is it a bit of both?
No, it's Kilban when he had his air short.
Yeah, but it looks like Zidane.
No, that's just Kilban. That's where you've all been getting confused.
I think it looks a bit like Roberto Martinez
It was a bit.
when he first started. At Everton.
It looks like neither of the people it's supposed to be.
I hope I've not been done off on this shirt here.
Looks like Razor Ruddock.
Any other thoughts on Kilban before we move on?
No, I thought that was a great case, Sean. You should have done that for your Netflix thing, to be honest. And like a
What,
Kilban
the life of Kilban?
documentary. Yeah. No, good shout, Sean.
Yeah, that's good. Always like a band.
Great guy.
Great servants for Everton and Ireland. Anyone want to step in next? Shall I go next? I'll jump in. I think I'm going from one extreme to the other of someone who was from someone who maybe wasn't as talented as Sean described into someone who is extremely talented. My pick is going to be Paul McGrath. And again, as I often get accused, someone just slightly before a few of our time, I think. So I can't say I watched them, but everything I've read, everything I've seen, everything I've heard suggests he must be one of Ireland's greatest ever footballers, if not the greatest, maybe. Yeah. So just to give a bit of a summing up of his career, Sean did. He obviously played for Villa, Man United, obviously 83 times for the Republic of Ireland. A proper defender, but also a really graceful defender. I said, I think a couple of weeks ago when Sean was talking about Ledley King, about the fact that whenever anyone who plays with him always picks him in their like greatest team you ever played with. And I think Paul McGrath's the exact same. I think anyone who played for Villa, Ireland or United around that time always says he was the best defender they played with. He was man of the match in the FA Cup final. He was PFA Player of the Year 1994. He played in the World Cup in 94. He marked Badgie out of the game in what I think is probably Ireland's greatest ever result in a World Cup, beating Italy, who would go on to the final 1-0. Did it all whilst not really training, not having the best of injury records, but also a bit of a drink problem. And I think he could fit into a few categories, a bit of a flawed genius in the sense that, yeah, he had drink problems. He'd go weeks without training, he'd go weeks without turning up and just arrive for the match and be the best player on the pitch. And I think probably would have had a longer Man United career, probably starting. He left in about, I think it was 1988 or 1989. So he just missed all the Fergie success. But I think if he'd not had them problems off the pitch, I think he certainly would have been involved with that. That was really the case that I wanted to make. I think I read of a quote today. Ferguson said of him once, this is Sir Alex Ferguson, it's incredible that he could play to the level he played at, given what was going on in his life. I can understand why he's still so popular. Like George Best, people like flawed geniuses because they see something of themselves. They're ordinary people who became great. And I think that does justice to a great man and a great footballer.
Well said.
Well done, Tosh. Nearly as emotional as Sean's that. I think you might have beat Sean actually with the Alex Ferguson quote. All the listeners are crying.
I just wrote on the bottom, he wasn't on Dancing on Ice, so he won't win.
Unlucky Paul.
But he's done a lot. Supposedly, a book I haven't read as well is book Back from the Brink. I remember I got a free sample, I think with 442 once, and I read that bit. It was very good. So I think I haven't read that book, but a little plug for the book as well. The Tosh's Book Club back. But right. Any other thoughts?
It's hard to comment, isn't it? Because it's just like, as you say, before our time. So
that's it. That was kind of why I had considered him now, but I was kind of like, I couldn't really speak too much because it was just right before my time, So it's like, but if you're not picking Roy Keane as Ireland's best ever player, it's pretty much got to be Paul McGrath because he's just so instrumental for that team and for any team, like particularly when he was on it. People, I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing there, but like in Ireland, like Paul McGrath is like just part of the lexicon. Like it's just what everyone knows it, everyone says it. It's just still going strong. So a testament to his legacy that's still going. But yeah, that's a great show.
Great then, right?
Can I
Bob,
go
do you want
next?
to? Oh yeah, go
sorry.
on. You jump in. No, you jump in, Andy.
I'm gonna go with Ireland's leading goal scorer of all time, Robbie Keane. He it was just like growing up watching Ireland, like Ireland are shy, but like it was always just like, oh, but with Keane, like you just always had a chance. Like if he was just to have a team where like the build up play is not going to be great and there's going to be some errors, but like if you could just give it to Keane with a little bit of space in the box, you've a lot of confidence that he'll score. I remember he scored that goal in the 2002 World Cup against Germany, I think it was, and it was like there was a big thing about wasn't Can the goalkeeper, and it was kind of like it was just nothing could get past him and all this sort of stuff. And it was just I remember I came back, I was doing my leaving cert, which is like the GCSEs or A level, I don't know what it's called there, but the equivalent, like the last big exam to get into college. And I remember like I came back from one exam and like there was only 10 minutes to go on the match. And it's like I just stuck it on. And I'm just in the house by myself. And it was just like it was a classic Ireland. It was just like big Niall Quinn just heading it down, and then Keane comes running onto it. I just remember losing it. I was like 17 or something at the time, and I just remember thinking like, oh my God. And that was a great World Cup, and we wouldn't have got as far if it wasn't for that goal. And I just think like he really books the trend for like players. Like I know he's not obviously from the UK, but like players from Ireland and the UK who generally don't go abroad too often, where he's kind of been all over. He was at Inter Milan when he was still a teenager. He was, Celtic. He was in LA, and obviously there's the Liverpool connection as well. But I just it's hard to kind of. Oh, and I'll tell you what else as well. The fact that he's got a signature celebration as well scores big points for me. Now, look, it's a shit. Sorry, I don't know if I can curse here. It's a shit celebration, but he's got one. It's a very tame forward roll sort
No,
of thing.
I don't. I think it was great.
Good.
Do you
fact
know
that
why?
he's
I think
yeah.
it's easy to replicate. As in, like, I
You could
remember
do
doing
it on the playground.
on the playground. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it just made you feel because my go-to, me too, and Bob, if he was here, would back me up when we used to play.
I am here. I'm just making a coffee for Emma. Carry on.
Mine would either be, I don't know why I've chosen the Liverpool connection, but it'd be Robbie Keane's cartwheel, or he used to try Michael Owen's handspring from the FA
Yeah.
Cup in 2001, which is famously the
That's a bit
worst
harder.
celebration ever. But that was me go-to for some reason.
But I think stuff like, and then like you look at his total, I'm looking at his career total here, 578 games in total, 251 goals. And then for Ireland, 146 appearances or caps and 68 goals. Like from 98 to 2016. Just, you know, when it comes to Irish players that just live fondly in my memory, it's always Keane. Like, oh, thank God for Keane, thank God for Keane. And he just seems so humble. Like I was only watching a thing there earlier where they were asking about his time at Liverpool and like, does he regret it? And he just seems like a real yeah, sure, I'd have loved to have stayed for longer, but like, I'm not. He seems just very down to earth, and he seems like someone that you would just know. Like he doesn't seem like a famous footballer, he just kind of seems like a good lad, as they say. So yeah, that's all I can really say on him. But yeah, Robbie Keane for me.
I think
Actually, you said something about Kevin Kilban about making the most out of a limited skill set, and Robbie Keane's obviously a lot more gifted than that, but he probably had the most dream career of any footballer ever as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he played for all of his childhood team, so yeah,
Exactly. That's what I mean.
that's I mean, that is the
Supported
dream.
them all.
And he got stick. I remember when like he joined Liverpool and he said, "Oh, it's my boyhood club," or I was always a fan. And then he joined Celtic on loan, and he was like, "My I supported them as a kid," and everyone was like, "Ah, here, like, what is it?" And he was saying, and it was so true. He's like, in Ireland, like you're just given Celtic, like like there is no choice in it. Like you can pick your team, but you're also a Celtic fan. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it is. And then like he did so well in LA. Like, I mean, I know obviously the level of competition is not as good, but like I think there's talks about actually them putting up a statue of him outside their stadium. I think they've got
Really?
Bex, they've got Landon Donovan, and there's a lot of talk about Keno getting the other one as well. So like, which would be
Don't
mad.
think Gerrard will be getting one, will he?
No, call me crazy. Yeah, I think
We're getting a kill Balmon outside of Bramley Moordock, I think, Sean. But we might do not have to if he hears Sean's monologue.
Of him dancing on ice.
Yeah. I checked for dancing on ice credentials and I could not find any. So
Not
falls
yet,
down.
anyway.
He falls
Still
There's
down.
time.
Yeah.
Still time.
And
Might
also
go the
let's not-
American version, Dancing with the Stars or whatever.
Oh yeah. He's currently head coach of Maccabi Tel Aviv, where his win percentage is 76%. So need I say more?
No, you need not. I think, yeah, it's a great shout. Yeah, I think he's one of them people that sort of he reminds me of when you're first into football. I sort of remember at Leeds, but mainly that Tottenham, him and Berbatov up front, just that spell. He was just so good, Keane. I'm a really big fan. You just looked there when you said like 68 international goals. Like that's some going for like an international team. Like even in Europe, I read somewhere something the other day. I think Italy's top ever scorer's got something like 30 or 35-ish or something like that. So for like someone like Robbie Keane who isn't going to every tournament to get 68, and that's again, I think it will be more than Kane will have for England. I would have thought, wasn't it? England's was like just less than 50 for a long time. So yeah, no, I think that's a great shout. I think if everyone in Ireland votes, I think he might be him and McGrath might be sharing the vote.
Yeah, I think so.
Right then, Bob, Callum, anyone want to volunteer to go next?
I'll go next. Probably going to be a fairly short and sweet case for a short and sweet footballer. I had some honourable mentions for Aidan McGeady and James McLean, but I thought Sean would tell me off for the meat of me case for James McLean. So we'll go with the less controversial Wes Hoolahan. He had an absolutely excellent nickname of Wesy or Wessy based on Lionel Messi. I think Lionel Messi probably based his career off Wes Hoolahan. Diminutive, low centre of gravity, very left-footed. He probably doesn't quite fit into the category of streets won't forget players unless you're a Norwich fan. But I think he just had quite a nice career story in that he signed for Norwich relatively late at the age of 26 and had a decade there. So it was probably would be up there with Norwich's greatest ever players. And I think if you were to ask their fan base of our age category, they'd probably say he's up there with the best they've seen play for him. I think he's quite an enjoyable player to watch. All left foot, which is usually not something I enjoy. I like players that are good with both feet, but you're just quite silky and skillful. Scored a great goal in Euro 2016 for Ireland, and as I mentioned before, his peak career started fairly late, but he still made 43 appearances for Ireland, which I think is pretty good going, really, considering what age he started at the age of 26. And he is currently playing for Doncaster City at the age of 41, going on 42, so he's clearly still got it.
Doncaster City?
Yeah.
They've been all over Twitter now, haven't they? Because they've been signing loads of Football League players.
Yeah.
I know he was at Cambridge, wasn't he?
Central Midlands Alliance Club, Doncaster City.
Yeah, but they've got like a Premier League level team. Can't remember anyone else who's playing for them. Maybe like Charlie Mulgrew or like that kind of.
Yeah, you're right. It is Charlie Mulgrew. yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Wes Houlihan really would have obviously gone for Seamus, but he already tried to nominate him for the Island the other week. So we'll go for Wes Houlihan. Great name, great nickname. Quite a good footballer.
I was going to say that. I genuinely think you picked him because you like saying Houlihan.
Yep.
Yeah, thought so.
It's a great name.
I agree.
I thought at first when you're going to say when you say he's got a great nickname, and then you said Wesy. I was like, what? How's that a great nickname? There's only one you said it was like Wesy. So I'd never heard that.
I've been calling him Hula Hoop for years.
I think I was just about to say he played for Cambridge, didn't he? I know Max Rushton, who's from the Guardian Football Weekly podcast, a big fan. He said that I reckon he'd probably be up there with Cambridge's greatest ever players, him and Dean Dublin. So, yeah, great, lovely footballer to watch. Any other thoughts on Wes?
Wesy.
Wesy.
Oh, well said.
Nice one, Cup. I like the niche one, Bob. Go on, Callum, finish us off.
I'm going to finish us off with Damien Duff, another left footer. We've had some good left peggers in the nominations this week. But yeah, going with Damien Duff, obviously burst on the scene, very young, I think 18, at Blackburn. Very, very, very good for them. Got himself his big move to Chelsea just as they started to get money under Abramovich. I think he signed by Ranieri as they were starting to sign their kind of stars and make that change over into the club that they became and are today. And Duff was a big part of that. And I think it was quite good to have like an Irish player and a British player as one of their stars and not kind of just like a European sort of big name. I think it was good to have him there doing that. And he was great for them, and we've spoken a bit about sort of streets don't forget kind of type players. I think he was kind of that mould. I'm sure Sean has based a lot of his youth football on players like Damien Duff and running down the left wing and stuff, and quick little footwork. So yeah, I think he's obviously a very talented footballer. Hit the 100 club for Ireland, got 100 caps, which is obviously a massive achievement. I think he captained them at the Euros in 2012 as well, I think. Possibly wrong, but obviously a great achievement there. Started his career, youth career, he was one of the St. Kevin's Boys players, that kind of famous Dublin boys team. He was one of them. So I think that's always nice to see one of those players kind of make it big. And then I think it's also nice that he returned to Ireland for his sort of swan song at the very end. I think he signed for Shamrock. Was maybe there for a season, and he's now doing good things as a coach. I think is he still at?
I think it's
Celtic, is he?
Shelburne. I think he's
right. Is he over there? Shelburne, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's a great player. He's one of those kind of iconic Premier League players when you look back at that era when the Premier League was changing. I think it's the real kind of era when the Premier League was changing and money was coming more involved and had all these kind of stars. And I think Duff was kind of a big part of that, but one of the, those kind of local players, if you like, that kind of kept it here. And he wasn't on Dancing Nice, but I suppose there's still time. But I mean, his extra claim to fame, which Sean might like, is his reference in AJ Tracy's Summertime Shootout, featuring T-Pain, where he said, "We ball like Damien Duff." So I haven't heard AJ Tracy say we ball like Paul McGrath, so there's something in that maybe. I don't know, but yeah,
I have no idea what that means.
It means we ball like Damien Duff.
Yeah. It's not for you, Bob. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think my favourite thing about Damien Duff is that he made a mistake that led to Newcastle going down.
Right, okay, cheers, Bobby.
When they first went down.
Was it like an own goal?
Possibly, I can't remember, but I think it was Damien Duff's fault. Then he
got beat 1-0,
yeah, he swerved Newcastle very shortly after. So what a fella!
Yeah, I think there was a shot. It might have been Gareth Barry who shot, and I think he might have deflected in off him.
Yeah, he was a very good footballer. Though I did enjoy watching him play.
Do you reckon if there's a sliding doors moment of, remember, wasn't there like a big debate at the time whether who were Liverpool going to sign, Damien Duff or Harry Kewell?
Yeah.
What?
I see it.
Where do you reckon Damien Duff's career? Do you reckon it's any different if he moves to Liverpool? He almost got swallowed up at Chelsea, didn't he, by all the money? And
I thought he had a good season at least. I seem to remember.
Yeah, that
Chelsea.
first season. That
Yeah.
first season where they got the Champions League semis. I remember that. I loved that team with like, because they signed, as you say, Callum, but they did sign a few like English, because they signed around like Cole at that time,
Yeah.
Johnson, Scott Parker, people like that. But then they'd also sign like Robin and Co, which is say he wasn't on. But yeah, I still think he had a good time. And obviously Harry Kewell didn't. Well, I suppose he did all right to
That's what I
Liverpool,
mean.
but
No, could it have been different for both of them? Do you know what I mean?
maybe Damien Duff could have married someone from Emmerdale.
Oh, he wishes.
Who knows? Who knows?
I
That's the
also
real
like
quiz.
as well, just on Damien Duff, I like how seriously he's taken management in the Irish League, because
Yeah.
he does not take well to criticism of the Irish League at all. So there was a thing last week even, or a couple of weeks ago, where he's like, I think it's the best league in the world, and blah blah blah, and like it's not, but like he believes it, and the guy was like, oh no, I don't know if I go that far, and he's like, well, why not? And he was like very serious about it. Or there was like a quote that he said about English football leagues not taking the League of Ireland seriously. I see the thing on the Wikipedia here where it was like, he said, "Do they think we're cavemen over here? That's the stuff you're dealing with. I think we're disrespected. It's like, oh, Ireland, why would you loan players to Ireland? That's their mentality." Like, he's so pro Ireland. I have to love it.
What a fella.
Go on.
Yeah, Anderson, didn't he go semi-viral as well for his almost Klopp-esque celebrations after a recent victory
Yeah.
as well?
In front of the crowd,
Yeah. He invented it.
Right then, what a way to wrap it up. So then we'll just recap the 5 nominations we've got for the best Irish players. We've got Sean picking Kevin Kilban, Bob going for Wes Hoolahan, Callum for Damien Duff, Andy for Robbie Keane, and myself going for Paul McGrath. So if you get over to X and place a vote, we've had some decent numbers on the last couple of weeks, so please do that, and we'll see which Irish player is going to be joining Kumas, Kocha, Pogba, and the lads on the island. Right then, Sean, are we getting ready for the game?
Yep. So, Andy, this is the main focus of the episode, our game
Okay.
of keeping up appearances. So, in the game, we pick 3 matches from this weekend, and then we spin them in a random wheel and get a focus match.
Okay.
But as a guest, you get guest privileges, and you get to pick the 3 games.
Ooh.
So, would you mind having a look at this week's fixtures and choosing 3 games for us?
Is this upcoming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this weekend.
Okay.
Is it all FA Cup, actually?
There's some Premier League, but mostly FA Cup, I think. There's
Oh.
Burnley, Brentford, Luton Forest, and Fulham Tottenham on Saturday. There's West Ham Villa on Sunday.
I'll go Fulham Spurs, Luton Forest, and West Ham Villa.
Luton Forest comes out here, we've got a big problem.
What is even the concept of the game? I may have shot myself in the foot here. What are we looking at with these games?
So, once we've got our focus game, we then do a random number generator to get obviously a number, and then we have to pick a player from either of the teams that has played that many games for the club or is close to it.
Okay.
So, say
Like
if we get
closest
Luton
wins.
Forest, you'll have to, and the number's 123. You have to try and pick someone that's got as close to that many games.
Right.
So you may have shot us all in the foot
I've
here.
shot everyone in the foot here. The gun has gone off. Okay, yeah. All right, well, best of luck.
The good thing if it's Luton Forest, we will all be miles out.
Yeah, apart from Cal.
No always bank on transfer market.
Right, the games are in. Let's spin the wheel. This week's game is... It's Luton, Nottingham Forest.
You've done that on purpose.
How have I done that on purpose? You can see it there.
Oh, no.
Trust me, I wouldn't be picking that for us.
Before we get the number out, can we say that we can pick current players no matter what the number is?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
No.
Right,
Right, we changing the rules.
Now, what we normally do is have a little preview of the match, but I mean, has anyone got anything to say, or should we just do throw out a few
not
little...
Forest.
What about them?
Very good.
Just not
Very
Forest.
Oh, they are playing. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good summary.
Yeah.
I am so sorry about this. This is the worst fixture that could
I
have
think if
come
I'm right, Luton play, don't they, Wednesday and Saturday, Bournemouth and Forest, so could very easily be above Everton at 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, Jesus.
Just to put that out there.
Nice
But
one,
if they were to lose both of them, potentially, or lose and draw on Saturday, we could be in a good position. But
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Say it
We'll
there.
be optimistic.
Right. Anyone got any predictions?
I'll go 1-1.
0-0.
I'm going a 1-2 because I think Luton haven't done well against all the rubbish teams around them at home, if I remember rightly.
I'm going to go 2-0 Forest.
I'll go 1-0 Luton.
I got the prediction right last week as well. I had
2-0.
2-0 United, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Did you have 2 pens?
Yeah. Well, I had Everton doing 2 stupid things to concede. I had that written down.
Only 2.
two,
Good job
though.
written down.
Right.
I had Onana ballooning a shot over a couple of times, so I've seen that one a few times.
He was
Arsenal
waving his
United.
arms up to the crowd, or
Go on, sorry, Sean.
It's all right. Right, let's get our number then. So, I don't even know if we want this. I'm assuming we want it fairly low.
Hi.
So, as always, our parameters are between 50 and 450. And remember, our game is Luton against Forest, whatever that means.
Not Forest.
So, here's our number, and it is... I mean, that's mad, actually. I said 123 before. It's 124.
You have fixed this whole thing, Sean.
Yeah,
Really,
that's
that's number every week, that.
it's either Luton or Forest.
And in all competitions.
Yeah. So, have a little think.
So which one of their players is closest to that amount of caps or
Yeah.
appearances? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Andy, you've got a couple of minutes. Just have a little think. And then when we've all got an answer,
Okay.
we'll...
I'm in so over my head here. I'm hanging on. Okay. I mean, I say okay, like I'm gonna get my head together, but like, and is this just current players only?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh well, then.
No, he's confident.
Well, then I still don't know.
Right. Anyone got any preference on a song of the week? Preferably.
Say the
Summertime
big.
Shootout.
What'd you say, Cal?
Summertime Shootout by AJ Tracy.
Shut up, Callum.
That's not it. That's just not it.
Celtic
Whatever.
Symphony.
What's that, Bob?
Well, it's
By the Wolf Tones.
it's where Paul McGrath comes from.
Oh,
I was going to say either Bewitched or Boyzone.
I mean,
Or Westlife.
I wanted the Cause, but
Oh, after Cause, yeah.
even though I tried to get tickets to the Cause and then an absolute rip-off.
Told you he will be.
I know. Right, so while you're having a little think for your answers, have a little listen to
Run Away.
I was going to say Irresistible.
You pick. You love the Cause the most.
I do love the Cause. Irresistible by the Cause. Off you go.
I'd love to be listening to the chorus right now.
You can if you want.
I'll just imagine it. And like, no one has. I know I'm interrupting everyone's thinking here. No one just has the bloody like. This is like an honor system. Like, no one's actually got the figures right in front of them here.
Well, Callum has. He's not supposed to.
Okay.
Callum often cheats, Andy, but we're not supposed to. No, it's all meant to be off the top of your head.
Oh, okay.
So I can assure you, we'll all be way out as well. Don't
Okay,
worry.
great.
How many Luton players do you reckon you could name in general?
2.
Is one of them Ross Barkley?
Oh no, sorry, I thought you meant past. If it's Ross Barkley, it's 3. I think I might go for a Forest player that I'm not 100% even play for Forest. But
That'd be a good guess.
we've never had that before. So
Yeah.
To be
probably
fair, if it's 0, it might actually be closer.
Yeah.
No, Zero's an immediate fifth. We've said that.
And it'd probably go down as one of your best guesses, Sean.
Yeah, that's true.
We had Forest, not Forest, fairly recently. Are we going to rule any of those players out, or are we just going to trust that everyone's forgotten what everyone said?
No one actually went with Forest though.
Oh, right, okay.
I think the only time we've had Forest was like it was like 300 or something.
Oh, right,
We
okay.
had them the other week when they played Liverpool. It was we had 186, but no one went with Forest. So
Oh, right, okay.
I think mine will be based on what other people go for.
Um,
Because I imagine you all the ones I've got, you've all got, I imagine.
I've gone an Everton link.
one of mine was an Everton link as well.
So was one of mine, but he's the one that I don't know if he played for Forest. But he definitely played for Everton. So if I can have that, I'll take it.
But I've got another one that didn't play for Everton. If you were to go for mine, Callum, I'm ready to go, and I've got a few names.
Has anyone gone Luton? No, obviously not.
I honestly don't know any Luton players.
I'm toying with it.
I'm toying with it.
Someone who plays now or someone who used to play?
Used to play.
It's not that Harford, is it?
No.
Isn't there one of them who's had consecutive promotions? Who
Yeah.
currently plays. I don't know his name though, but which would help.
One
know which
of
one you
them's
mean.
one of them's gone from non-league to Premier League with them, hasn't he? But that'd be like
Yeah,
a
it'd be one,
decade, so that's
yeah,
far
yeah.
too high.
I'm just trying to think. Did Barkley play in the cup games? Did he get
If you're lucky, you might get Barkley within 100.
Yeah. To be fair, my guess might be more than 100 out. I don't know.
And does the closest win?
Yeah.
Correct. No pressure, Andy, but our guests do very well on this. how many guest winners have we had? Is it two in a second?
Yeah.
No pressure, Andy. No pressure, Andy.
Andy.
But the guests usually pick a good game, so you've already
Yeah,
failed
yeah.
that one.
Do they normally pick a better option than this? Jeez. I honestly could not have picked two worse teams.
That's all part of the game, though.
Yeah.
The last guest we had on, it was Sheffield United Wolves, but the number was
Okay,
like
that's
was
worse.
like 430.
Yeah, the number was mad, wasn't it?
All right.
And if
I don't
it
feel as bad.
helps, I was 350 out, I guess.
That actually helps a lot.
To be fair though, the number of years he played,
I know.
Was
Yeah.
that closer than the number of appearances, the number of years he played? Or?
probably was, wasn't
Do you know what? It wasn't far off. That's the scary thing.
it?
Are we ready? Or
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
think so.
Callum, are you stuck on your Everton one? Do you want to go first?
I'll go first, yeah. An Everton
Yours
link.
goes first, Tim.
An Everton link. I know he played for Forest, but I don't know for how long. I'm going to go Ian Wone.
Oh,
Oh,
I
not
think
the Everton link I was thinking.
not the Everton link I was thinking as well.
Yeah, he did play for Forest, didn't he?
He did play
looked on
for
Cal.
Forest, yeah.
You've got no idea how long he played, have you?
Oh no, he could be like a legend and like
I
his
think
whole
he's
career.
I
don't
think
wanna-
he's a bit of a legend.
Yeah, I think he is as well.
A legend that only played a few times. Like they do a lot in a short space of time. Is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot more, to be honest. I think he is a bit of a legend. Anyone else want to jump in? Andy, do you want to jump in just in case someone
Yeah.
robs your answer?
Yeah, I'll get mine done. So I can choose either one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
anyone you want, Callum will start checking.
I'll go Forest and I will go Roy Keane.
Oh, that's a great shout, that.
Continue with the Irish link as well. I like
I
it.
mean, literally the only one I'd know, but yeah, that's the one for me. I honestly I've no idea how many games he played really. but
No,
that's-
me neither.
yeah.
I reckon
Seems
it's,
about right.
I'm going to put it out there. I reckon that'll be closer than Woney. Anyone want to jump in next? Bob, do you want to go?
Yeah, I've torn between going Luton or not Forest. I'll go Luton and say their club captain, who's currently out of action on medical grounds, Tom Lockyer. I think he's been there a few years now.
I wouldn't have had a clue. He could have been playing for them for like the last 30 for all I knew. Yeah. Sean, do you want to, or just I, or
Yeah, go on, I'll go. I've written loads down. Most of them have got an Everton link. And I know some of them played for Forest and one of them played for Luton. But I'm going to go with the one who I don't know just because. Why not?
Sabotage yourself.
Do you know what? Go hard or go home. So
Go hard or go wone.
There's the episode title, Defo. Yeah, my answer is former Everton centre-back, Richard Goff.
Ooh.
I have no idea if he played for Forest.
Neither have I.
He played an unbelievable
I was
amount
gonna
of
say-
times for Rangers.
What team you doing it for, Sean?
Do you know what?
Definitely better names. Goff and Wone.
Yeah. Is it like any given time?
I don't reckon he played for Forest just by that laugh.
No.
Oh no. Go on then. I'll wrap it up. I had a few names as well. I'm going to say my Everton link that I was thinking of was Super Kev. He played for Forest, didn't he? I thought that was the one you were going to say, Callum. And he did play for Forest, Sean. Something like your Everton player. And then I had two other names of older Forest players, but again, I've no idea. I had Jack Colback, who I think was there a few years, and then the other one, which I'm going to go for, because I know he annoyed a lot of Forest fans because he crossed and went to the Derby County as well as playing for Celtic, so a slight Irish link. I'm going to go for Chris Commons. But again, I know he left for Derby. I know he played for Celtic, so he could have played very few times for Forest. But I know he was a bit of a he was loved at Forest, I think. So I think he must have played a fair few times to do that. So I'm gonna go Chris Commons because a Celtic sort of Irish link.
The other one
For
I
a Celtic
had.
topper.
The other
Go on,
one
sorry,
I
Bob.
had. The other one I had on my list was Matty Cash. He came through the
Oh,
academy
yeah.
at Forest.
He did. Great. Right,
And
then
I
I'm
had
just
Jack Colback as well.
waiting for Callum to check.
Richard Goff did play for Forest.
Get in.
Oh wow. I've just seen how many times though. Oh dear.
No,
I get-
it's not your fair. It's not your worst answer.
Do you know what? I get the moral victory there because I took a risk.
Yeah.
Didn't play it safe like
Yeah.
you lot.
You've literally no reason to take a risk though. It's like you're making
It
out
is.
like what's the reason for taking a risk?
For the content.
Oh, it's all about you. That's what it's all about for you, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the three people that listen are going to love that.
They're gonna go, who the hell is Richard Goff?
He might have a career rebirth now at the age of 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was 82 when he played for Everton. For about
He's
5
so
years,
old,
wasn't
isn't
he?
he?
Right.
Good guesses, to be fair.
Well,
Some bad ones as well.
A mixed bag, I think, is it?
Yeah, I actually think surprisingly good. Right, ready to go with the results.
yeah, good.
Okay, then. So results, as you may have heard, some potentially bad guesses there. So we'll get them out the way. So the score was 1-2-4. So in fifth place, 117 out with just 7 appearances.
Is it Wody?
was Richard Goff, which is 7 closer than I thought it might have been. So I think you've done well there, Sean. I think that's a net positive.
Thanks.
So Sean, 5th place. In 4th place, with 216 and 92 out, was Woney. Sorry, Callum.
Take it.
Yeah.
Got in the dark.
That's not actually a million miles away from Sean's guess, which was he only made 7 appearances, so it's actually pretty bad, that. And then
Thanks.
in third, a better guess was 156, so 32 out was Chris Commons, so myself in third. And now to 2 very good guesses, both single figures out.
Come on.
So 2 really good guesses. One was 7 out and one was just 1 out. 7 out with 117 appearances was Tom Lockyer, which means
No way.
Roy Keane with 125, so 1 out.
No
Andy, what a
way.
shout.
Oh.
Out, Andy.
He knew
Do you
what he
know
was
what?
doing.
He
Picking
knew all
Forest.
along, yeah.
That was a false sense of security that the whole time. He knew he was trying to bait me
This is
into
my
picking someone that
specialist.
didn't play for Forest.
This is my specialist subject. I fooled you all. But like even with this, like I literally haven't heard of any of the players that you mentioned, and I've picked the most well-known player. Like just a random. Oh yeah, Keenan played for them. So like really, it's a moral victory for you to even know about far more players than me. I just have literally a couple there that I landed on. What was it? One off? Did you say?
Yeah, one off. 125.
Unbelievable. That.
Unbelievable.
We haven't had that. How many we in the whole 30 episodes? Have we had some one bang on, and then I think another 1 or 2 times 1 out. So that's like Hall of Fame, I guess.
I was going to say, if we're
brilliant.
making a list, I'd technically, if you had a Hall of Fame, I'd be in it.
Yeah.
As far as guests go as well, we've had a few wins, but none as convincing as that.
I'm going to say the Hall of Fame. Sean still hasn't made it yet.
That is a good. I mean, I think Sean should go in the Hall of Fame for remembering that Richard Goff played for Nottingham Forest alone in the 1999 season. I made 7 appearances, so I think Sean. To be fair, that's as impressive as being.
I agree. If we were getting awards for for random facts that nobody cares about, I'm winning that one. So again, moral victory is mine. Just don't get points on the leaderboard for that, do you?
From
But the
either
actual
side of
victory
playing
is
for.
mine. Just,
Yeah,
confirm
that's the actual
great,
one.
Great, yeah. Just
But
want to
either
confirm.
side of playing for San Jose Clash, Sean remember that Richard Goff was at Nottingham Forest. So well done, Sean.
If it had been San Jose, I'd have said him and I'd known I'd be confident. But
one of them. No, well done, Sean. Well done, Andy.
Brilliant. Delighted with that.
I've just been put in with well done with someone who only played 7 times, Andy, so it's not that good. Sean got a well done. They even played double figures for the team. He was trying to get to 120.
It was a different kind of well done.
Mine was very much a pity well done, wasn't
More
it?
of an ironic well done.
Yeah, just to keep me coming back next week.
Trying to keep his morale up, but we'll see.
So now, after 29 games, we've got a little bit of movement in our table. Bob is still on top with a 10-point lead now. He's on 81. Tosh has crept back up into second. He's on 71. Callum just behind on 70. Now, the guests are getting worryingly close to Sean here. Sean is in 4th place on 51, and the guests now on 26.
Right, guys, thank you very much for tuning into this week's Keeping Up Appearances episode. It's been a great episode. We've had a great M5 discussion. Some very emotional cases put forward, to be fair. I'm sure the tears are still rolling down some of your faces. But yeah, head over to our X to please vote on that, who you think is the best or your favourite Irish Premier League footballer. I think we might call any given Saturday a draw, possibly, but possibly you guys won. And I apologise for picking 2 separate dates. I know Sean's absolutely fuming, but we move. And then to end it on an absolute wonderful shout by Andy, 1 out on Keeping Up Appearances. We put the pressure on him by mentioning other guests, and he definitely delivered. So a massive well done to him there. Andy, thanks for being with us. Been great to have you. Hopefully you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have. Thanks so much for having us on. That was actually great fun, and I didn't embarrass myself as much as I thought I was going to. So, so I'm happy about that.
Sean took one for the team there.
Yeah, cheers, Sean.
Yeah. Always.
Well, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
And football cliches, we're coming for you.
Keeping Up Appearances, please don't come after us.
Maroon 5, please don't come after us.
Oh no, please do.
Any given Sunday
in the
film,
dock, me against that Tosh versus Levine in the dock. That's what we want.
Levine have probably done better than me there, to be fair.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Andy.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much, lads.
Nice one, Andy. Thank you very much.
See you around. Oh, when does it go out, or does it go out, or is it out already?
Friday.
Grant. Let us know. Give us a tag or whatever, or let us know, and I'll share it on and all that. Sort of
boss,
stuff.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great
of course.
stuff. Nice
No worries.
one.
Although, if you'd have lost, would you have still offered that?
Absolutely not.
It's going to be plastered on his
I want
social
people.
media.
I want people to hear that I actually know football here.
Be tweeting about the Forest game loads at the weekend. God, do you remember when Roy Keane played for these?
Yeah. Roy Keane, lads, anyone? Stan Collymore now?
Now you've got Richard Goff, that'll impress people.
Yeah. Right. I'm off, lads. Thank you very
All right,
much again.
Nice
Andy.
one.
See you
Thanks for
later.
having us.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.